Hi folks, if you watched my video that I did recently on little knives, you'll have seen that I finished with a knife that hadn't featured in the video, but I just put it at the end, flanked by a mini butter bean and an Andre de Villiers micro butcher. Now, so you'll see from this that this is just a little knife, only. That is the mini butter bean, and that is the micro butcher from Andre de Villiers. These are the standard size canoe and the standard size, or the 3-inch size, de Villiers knife. So I'll take those away. So actually, this knife that looks like it's a tiny knife is actually much bigger than you think. Now, of course, when you see it, when I saw it advertised on Heine Haynes' website, there's no way of knowing. I mean, you read the description, but you read so many millimeters or so many inches or whatever, and it doesn't 100% really show you the actual size of the thing. And this looks like it should be a small knife. Now, this is elephant's toenail blade, and this one happens to be by Rough Rider. It is remarkably heavy and remarkably large, and actually although I compared it there to the de Villiers 3-inch butcher, actually there's quite a lot in common in terms of size and weight and so forth. They have a very similar feeling in hand, and both these two happen of course to be bone. What might make an even better comparison, if I can reach it, because I forgot to get it out before the. If you haven't seen these before, these little slips from Simon Davidson, davidsonleather.com or davidson.com are brilliant. But if I just get this knife out of here, put that down the other side, you actually see that one actually is a lot in common in terms of the blade size. The outer two obviously are de Villiers. So you've got the pinstripe bolsters, you've got the weight, you've got the bone, obviously that's burl wood, you've got here a spear point blade, you've got a spear point blade here. What's the real difference though? The real difference is these are super expensive de Villiers knives, custom knives. This is a Rough Rider, and for anybody who doesn't already know, Rough Riders are the budgets of the budgets, but they are still, despite the fact this is certainly sub £20, might be near 10 for all I can remember, this is the one that you throw in your basket when you're buying something else, and you get it home and think it's actually nicer than the thing that you were actually spending a lot of money on. Now this is a double-ended jackknife, I suppose, and this one was actually recommended to me by David, one of my subs, and he deserves full credit for recommending it. It's again, this de Villiers thing comes up because he'd shown his daughter the Heine Haynes page and website and said, choose something for a first knife, and she picked Andre de Villiers, but settled on this when it was pointed out to the price of a de Villiers knife. And actually, I don't think she's been shortchanged, but not shortchanged to the extent to which one might imagine. This is still a very nice knife. Like also in my last video, there was a canoe pattern where you have a double-ended pattern. The walk and talk on this blade is nowhere near the way it should be. It's very, very soft. But again, I think this is the blade that you keep super razor sharp, and you only bring it out when you've got to cut something that just requires a scalpel. Other than that, it's kept away for holidays and holidays. The spring on the back of this one is not, it's not a GEC standard. Again, we decided we don't want to focus again, haven't we, camera? That's very kind of you. Now you can see it's just not quite. I mean, I'm not going to send it back because of that. I actually quite like this knife and quite like to carry it. So it's a bit off when it's open. It's quite disconcerting. Don't try and do things through the viewfinder. I think one day I'm going to actually do myself some serious harm. And it's not quite flat when it's folded either. The other end is fine. And the bone is actually not bad for bone. I mean, there's a little bit of gapping there slightly, but it's a natural material. It's not uncommon to find. You really have to be picking faults here. This lovely and smooth transitions, all 4 transitions on all 4 bolsters. And it takes more time and effort. If you have a double bolstered knife rather than a bare head, you have to make sure that that bone is absolutely true before you fit the scale. You can't just rub it down once it's in there. It's got to be true along there, but it also has to be true at that end. So you've got to cut it really very precisely before you put it together. So I'm not going to witter on forever, because this is a fairly straightforward little Rough Rider design. Elephant's toenail, or small sunfish is its other name. In fact, I think sunfish is the name that Rough Rider choose to use. But it's the same design. Just depends who it's made by. But anyway, I really like this knife. If you like something that's got a bit of weight to it, but solid in your hand, a nice finish with the nice bone, shiny blade. They're only 440 ASCII, so you know, if you're using a knife all day, then this is probably not the one for you. But if you just need a knife to keep in your pocket for when you need something, but you like something that's got a bit of heft and a little bit of style to it, I would recommend this. So the Sunfish from Rough Rider.